Greetings, everybody, and welcome. We are back on Force, my melee Magicka Sorcerer that I like to play. We have a new version here with a couple sets, making it a bit more sustaining, a bit more fun to play than the last one. I love this playstyle. I know it is very, people are very confused when they see it. They always think it's a hybrid, even though it doesn't use any stamina skills whatsoever. They just, they see the playstyle like, oh, that looks like a stam sword kind of. And yeah, it is kind of like a stamina playstyle, but on a Magicka build. So I love this one. So let's jump right into it. As you can see, 32k, almost 33k Magicka, not too shabby. Over 24k health, also not too shabby, and 14k stamina. So the stats, pretty okay, not crazy or anything, but pretty okay. The build definitely shines in the regen department. If you look at this, this is unbuffed. This already looks pretty good, unbuffed. And of course, if you use a pot here, these regens go up pretty high. Almost 20, like 2700 Magicka recovery, that's a lot. Almost 800 health. This goes up to like almost 2k health recovery. And then of course the 1600 stamina recovery, which also goes up by quite a bit. So like fully buffed, I think we're sitting at, I don't want to lie, but I would say 3k Magicka recovery, probably 2.4k health recovery, and somewhere above 2k, probably 2.1k or something, stamina recovery. Like, and that is fully buffed. The spell damage here, if we buff up 3.7k, almost 3.8k, and of course, if we give the resto poke on the back bar with the weapon damage enchant, this is going to end up at 4.3k. If you take a resource in Cyrodiil, you're going to end up at 4.7k spell damage, so a decent amount of spell damage on this build. Nothing to complain about. And then of course the regens here, this is fully buffed already, 16.5k spell resistance and 14.6k physical. So typical kind of light armor build, but we can deal with that. The crit resistance here, 3k, not too shabby. There, of course, the new base impen that they added last patch is in here, so that makes us quite, quite bulky, I would say, for a medium, for a light armor build. The spell penetration not super high, 10k here. It's not something that we focus on. We are running the Apprentice Mundus for some extra spell damage. You can run something else if you like, depending on what you feel like would benefit you the most. I would say you probably don't need a regen Mundus, so you could go for more armor or maybe some more penetration, depending on what you feel like. I thought the spell damage is the better pick here because it also applies to the healing, which is pretty nice. We are a vampire on this build, of course. We're always a vampire. Stage 1 here because, we don't really use anything else other than one vampire skill, so I thought, stage 1 is okay. You can go higher if you want, but you don't really get many benefits out of it, so I would say stage 1 is more than fine. And for the food buff, we're running the ice cream, which is actually called the Ghastly Eyeball, which gives you a lot of max Magicka and a lot of Magicka recovery. It doesn't give any health, so the way we build the build, it allows us to run this and still have a decent amount of health. You can, of course, go for the Witch Mother's Potent Brew if you want to. That gives the health, but less Magicka and less regen. So that's up to you. I like to build it this way if I have enough health to support that. So, and with that being said, let's look at the sets here. We're running Amber Plasm, which is a great all-around Magicka set. It gives you a little bit of damage, gives you a lot of regens across the board. I love this set. I did many builds with this. This is a great base set. You can use this on any build that you want. The regens that it provides it really helps. It really helps on any playstyle. So I love this one a lot. The next one that we're running is Eternal Vigor. Also, a great regen set. The reason I went for 2 regen sets here is just I like having a really active playstyle. And, you know, an active playstyle means you need enough regens to support that. So you need enough Magicka regen and you need enough stamina regen, because you don't ever want to get caught with your stamina down. You want to be able to break a CC. You want to be able to dodge and block something and sprint if you have to get away. So having enough stamina regen on a Magicka tune is actually a big deal. Something that I always like to do. So definitely a really, really good one. Also a great base set. Both of them can be used as a base, and then you can build upon that base with whatever sets you need for your playstyle. And the next set that we're using is Slimecrow, probably my favorite monster set. Gives you a little bit of spell critical, and then of course the minor berserk that increases your damage by 8%. So I like this a lot. A lot of people don't use Slimecrow. I don't know why. I love Slimecrow. Slimecrow increases a lot of things that other sets can't increase, like enchant damage and stuff like that. Even proc damage can be increased by Slimecrow if you want to run some proc sets. So I like this a lot as, you know, just a little extra damage. So yeah, Slimecrow, really nice. Regarding the traits, as always, you know the drill here. We are running the Infused on the big pieces, and then Impen on the smaller ones, with the Magicka enchants and the Tri-Stat enchants on the big Infused pieces. That's just to bulk up the stats, give you a nice amount of stats all around. I like doing that a lot. The Eternal Vigor jewelry, as you can see, you know, is healthy. I went for the healthy here because, like I said, I wanted to run the Ghastly Eyeball, which doesn't give health. So that's a good way of like building. It's, you know, to use a food like that and still have enough health. If you look here, Eternal Vigor does have a health bonus on the 5-piece, so that's pretty nice. We do have the Infused Tri-Stat enchants, which also boosts the health. So with that, you get enough health to justify running the Ghastly Eyeball instead of the Witch Mothers. But like I said, if you want to run the Witch Mother and, you know, just have more health and less regens, that's fine. You can do that if you like. I prefer this because I just wanted to push it a little further. And yeah, the Amber Plasm one here is Arcane. You know, you could technically also go with Unhealthy here, or if you kind of want to spread out the resources a little more, Triune on all of them, also a good choice, you know. But I'll leave that up to you. You can mix and match the traits and the enchants and stuff like that to really get the amount of stats that you are comfortable with. So feel free to get creative here. We're running the spell damage enchants on all of them because, you know, we need some damage. On the front bar, we got the Nirnhoned Greatsword here with a shock damage enchant, and on the back bar, we're running the Infused Resto with a weapon damage enchant. Yeah, that's it for the weapons. Let's move on to the skills. The first skill on the front bar is Crystal Fragments. Of course, this is a very hard-hitting skill, is ranged. It can proc from casting other Magicka abilities, and as of this patch, it can proc from casting itself. So you could technically hard cast spam Crystal Fragments and get the occasional Crystal Fragment proc out of it. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend hard casting it unless you want to open up with it, then it's okay. Other than that, you know, you're gonna get the procs anyway. It's gonna proc every like 2-3 seconds when you're like actively fighting, so no need to hard cast, in my opinion. The next one is Endless Fury. This is, of course, your execute, your pre-execute. It's what I like to call it, because you put it on the target and then you do some damage and then they explode. Of course, you can also use it as an active execute. When someone's low health and you just put it on them, they explode, or you spam it on them to just keep the execute explosion going. But Ultimately, you want to put it on the target before they die, just because it can work like that. You know, you put it on, then you apply some burst, the target gets below the threshold of 20% health, and then they explode. So yeah, that's how you want to use this. The next one is Arterial Burst. This is, you know, kind of a boring skill, but it replaces the old elemental weapon, which was really, really clunky. This one is way less clunky because you only have to press the button and you cast the skill. With the elemental weapon, it was like you had to cast it and then do a light attack. So it made it just more clunky. It is way better playing this build with the Arterial Burst, I gotta say. You can cancel this pretty fast. It's a really fast, nice, hard-hitting skill. So I like this one a lot. You know, give it a shot, and it's pretty cheap too. You know, cheap, spammable, never wrong. The next one is Streak. This is, of course, your gap closer. One of your movement skills that helps you get to a point or away from a point pretty quick. Of course, it also deals a good amount of damage, and it stuns everyone in the area. So that's a really, really strong stun because it cannot be blocked. Use it in your rotations to stun people and add some extra damage. I like this a lot. I love streaking. There's just something about it, like just moving around, doing damage, stunning people. It's such a complete package. Great, great skill. The next one is Daedric Tomb. The Daedric Tomb here is the morph that places 3 mines, but they arm instantly, so you can use them in a offensive manner. Whereas the other morph is very defensive. It takes a while for them to arm, and you have more of them. But I like them a lot because one thing that I can do is I can streak through people, stun them, then turn around and put basically the 3 mines around them. So that if they want to leave, they have to hit at least one of my mines. And that just allows me to do a good amount of combo damage here, you know? You put the curse on, you put the pre-execute on, you might get a crystal fragment proc, you want to throw that. You streak through, you turn around, you hit the Daedric Tomb here, and if they want to get out of the tomb, they have to at least hit one of the mines. A lot of people even hit 2 of them, take a lot of damage. I love this a lot. This is one of the main reasons why I created this build, because I wanted to use the mines in an offensive playstyle, and I love it. The next skill here is Dawnbreaker. This is, of course, you know, if a lot of people see Dawnbreaker on a Magicka build, they're like, yeah, why are you using this? You know, first of all, it's a very cheap ultimate. It still hits decently hard. It adds a decently hard-hitting dot after the main smack. It's AoE, so it hits a lot of people, and it knocks them down. So what more do you want? That's a lot of things out of a 110 ultimate, right? That is a lot of things that you can get just for a 110 ultimate. So, you know, when the curse goes off, the curse is AoE damage, of course. The Endless Fury goes off. Endless Fury is AoE damage when it explodes. The Streak is AoE damage. The Daedric Tomb is AoE damage. This is AoE damage. So you can actually take on a whole group of people and really put in the damage for all of them. So I love this playstyle a lot. I just love running into a group and just giving them the business. Yeah, it's a great ultimate. Let's move on to the back bar. So on the back bar, we got the Dark Conversion here. This, of course, transfers stamina into Magicka and then gives you a little bit of Magicka over 20 seconds. This equals out to like roughly 200 regen. So you can add 200 regen to your whatever you can, you know, reach on your tooltips here. Never forget that. And the important part about this is the Magicka that you get through everything. So even should you block with a ice staff, you know, which normally would halt your Magicka regen, this goes through. Should you pick Mist Form and Mist Form around where usually your Magicka regen gets cut off, this goes through. You know, you still have this, which is pretty nice. So the next one is Haunting Curse. Like I said, this is one of your main skills that you want to put on targets. I open up with this one because it takes 3.5 seconds to go off. So it gives you time to apply the other things, and then when it explodes, get ready for an execute or, you know, some more layered damage, just to make a lot of different skills hit at the same time and do a lot of combo damage to people that they just can't out heal in the time that it's coming in. So I really like this one. I recast this one a lot because, you know, the second explosion happens 8.5 seconds later. Usually a bit too long for me, so I usually go for the reapply as soon as it explodes. I put another one on because that's only 3.5 seconds, so it's way faster to get the next explosion here. But like I said, this is also AoE damage, which is pretty decent. If there's a lot of people just hugging each other and one of them has the curse on, explodes, deals a good amount of damage to all of them. So I like this a lot. The next one is our main heal, Rapid Regeneration. Has a decent tooltip, over 5 seconds. Yeah, that's all you need to know. Ticks really fast, has a good amount of healing, and combined with other heals that you can get, you can cast this and then this here, which will give you the resources back and also heal you, because this actually heals for a decent amount. I don't really use it for a main heal, but if I take more damage, more than the rapid regen can, you know, account for, I go in the dark conversion while my rapid regen is ticking here. And there's a couple more things. When people roll through your minds due to the blood magic passive here, you also get healed. And of course, when you hit someone with a crystal fragment, you also get healed. You know, the blood magic passive does something for you. I said this in the last video. Sometimes when you're low health and you have a crystal fragment proc, you can actually save yourself by just hitting that and getting the heal from it. You know, this really helps. Or of course, you just throw Daedric Tomb into a group of people. They all walk into it, they all explode, you get the healing from it. Very, very nice. I like this a lot. And then of course, Crit Surge is also there. So if you crit, you also get a heal. So that's what I like about a sorcerer. There's a lot of like different ways of healing that are not very obvious, but they're there. And when you learn how to utilize them well, you can actually get way more healing than you think you could on a sword, which is really, really nice. So Crit Surge, the main spell damage buff here, of course, and then it adds the heal when you do crit damage. So I like this a lot. Really nice skill. Then of course, Boundless Storm. This one increases our spell resistance by 5k, gives us the Major Expedition, and has like a little dot area around you, which, you know, is also pretty nice because when people get close to you and, you know, when they get close to you and they get in this area here, they get zapped. They get zapped by your Boundless Storm, which can of course crit and then proc some Crit Surge. So just for zapping people with the Boundless Storm, you can already get healed, which is pretty amazing. And the last one here is Light's Champion. This is the Resto ultimate. This is just here for some, you know, either if you're taking a lot of heat and you need the healing, and you know you can't just do it with the rapid regen, you need more, pop the Light's Champion. Also very cheap, 110 ultimate. It's up all the time basically. If you fight a couple seconds, you get this up. You can use it. You can also use it when you go into, like, you know, a group of people and you just want to be sure that you can, you know, withstand the damage, the AoE damage that they put down. You just want to go in there and just drop some damage. You can put this on. This only lasts for 5 seconds, but, you know, if you really want to push through something, you know, put this on and go in and be a champ. So that's the skills. Let's move on to the CP. In the red tree, we got, as always, 51 Ironclad, 77 Resistant, 43 in Hardy and Elemental Defender, and 56 in Quick Recovery. In the green tree, we got 37 in Warlord, 19 in Sprinter, 22 in Mooncalf, 56 in Arcanist, and 43 in Tenacity. 56 in Tumbling, and 37 in Shadow Ward. In the blue tree, we got 56 in Elfborn, 56 in Elemental Expert, and 77 in Spell Erosion, and the rest 81 in Master at Arms, just for the extra smack damage. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the build. I hope you guys liked it. I will post a clip of me playing this build one day after I release this one, so I hope you enjoy. We are going to be doing a lot of different builds this patch. I got a lot of ideas, so I got to work through them pretty fast here. So look forward to that. We're going to try a couple really different things with the new stuff that they added to the game. For Samsorks, some sets, some really interesting ones, some reworked ones. So yeah, if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe, you like, and you comment, and I'll catch you the next time, right? Take it easy, everybody.